I think of lines I want to say in the shower, and then I forget them when I'm sitting here. I'm
Should
like,
write them
oh,
down
that'd
then.
be a great line. That'd be a great line. I do gotta write them down. I got-
All right, we're good. Kick us off again.
Hello and welcome back to the podcast To Kill a Delibird. We've got a great episode in store for you. This is the show that, is gonna take you back to your childhood, hopefully with a new lens, maybe with an old lens, maybe with no lenses. Not everybody needs glasses. This episodes that we're reviewing today, I thought were pretty fun. They're definitely action-packed. What do you think, Kellen? Oh, first of all, this is your co-host, Graham, and got my other co-host here, Kellen. How you doing, Kellen?
I'm lovely.
And these were bangers, right?
Oh, they're bangers. Absolute bangers.
They're sort of
Classics.
bottle episodes, but they're
episodes.
Fun. Yeah, high action for Pokemon.
So today we're looking at the next two episodes. We're looking at episode 3, Ash Catches a Pokemon, and episode 4, Challenge of the Samurai.
Samurai, I hardly knew her.
That was terrible.
I think it might be the name of the episode, though.
I don't think
we'll
so.
see if we think it's
that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
That's why it's amazing.
No, it does. Oh God.
So both episodes were action-packed. They kind of felt like bottle episodes because we're in Viridian Forest now, and everything takes place in Viridian Forest. Is that the name of the forest, Viridian?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. So kick us off. You're the plot guy. I'm the saying nonsense guy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into this episode. I liked Ash Catches a Pokemon quite a bit.
So when we last left our crew, Ash was about to catch a Caterpie. We were left on a cliffhanger. And we come into the episode, and it's immediate. We're right back into the action. He throws the ball. We get a very dramatic catch animation. And Ash catches himself a Caterpie.
Right, so this is a Pokemon so weak that he can just throw the ball and catch it. He doesn't even need to battle at first. Can you do that in Gen 1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's Pokemon that you don't need to weaken at all?
Well, you don't need to weaken any Pokemon, technically.
Okay, go on.
Well, every Pokemon has a catch rate from 1 to 255.
Oh, we're getting into the math, folks. This is why you're here.
If a Pokemon has a catch rate of 255, that means that on full health with a regular Pokeball, there's a 33.3% chance that you will capture that Pokemon.
0.3 repeating, of course.
Yes. So any Pokemon on Route 1 in Viridian Forest, basically, you got a 1 in 3 shot of catching it from full health with the Pokeball.
So just tossing balls, not a bad strategy.
Yeah. And then Great Ball knocks it up by 1.5. Ultra Ball is 2 times. It's just it's not hard.
He looks like an idiot. He is an idiot. Yeah. We
he
see a little bit of growth and learning in these episodes. And I had some thoughts about that. Mostly that this is how the show is teaching people the mechanics of Pokemon. Yep. Ash is an idiot so that they can be super explicit about this is how the world of Pokemon works.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see it later. This was kind of a fluke on his part because he tries to catch the Pidgeotto in the same way and he fails. He completely doesn't work.
Yeah. So he is an idiot. It's not like it's not like he knows the math.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what the math is like in the anime world.
I would like to learn about the statisticians of the Pokemon world who are like analyzing catch rates, understanding things about, the underlying physics of the world. They have like statistical models, distributions for how different catching works. That's where I would work probably. With the nerds.
Yeah, I think you would.
All right, so let's keep going through the episode. We catch the Caterpie, and then
Misty hates bugs. We learn.
Yeah, this is a huge topic. Her sideways glance. Ash is, loving this thing. She goes, "Takes a worm to love a worm." Oh, Misty.
Absolutely roasted.
And I got another "Am I the asshole" moment right here. And this one's a little bit less black and white than some of the ones we brought up in the other episode. So to remind the audience, this is Reddit's "Am I the Asshole?", where people can post personal stories and the Reddit community will vote on Are you the asshole in the story? Is the other person in the asshole? Are you both assholes? Or is nobody the asshole? So am I the asshole moment here, I think really has to do with the dynamic of Caterpie and Misty.
You got there.
I got there. So Misty has a bug phobia, which Ash is incredibly insensitive about. On the other hand, I do get Ash's point that Caterpie is a being with feelings. It wants to be friends with Misty, and Misty is treating it like shit.
Mm-hmm.
So who is the asshole here? Because I think a phobia is a real thing, and Ash is completely insensitive about that too.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with no assholes here.
No assholes. Okay, it's just
no
a moment of
here.
learning for both
Yes.
sides. Gotcha.
Yes. I also want to amend a statement I made earlier about 33.3% chance. I'm looking on a Bulbapedia. It says 43.9% chance.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. People would have been losing it in the comments.
But
feel free to lose it in the comments anyways, folks.
That says in Generation 7. So prior to that, it may have been 33.3.
Yeah, this is Gen 1, and Gen 1 is all that existed at this time. Mm-hmm. So that's the best math we got to go off of.
Yes.
So Misty's hatred of bugs, she has an interesting line here where she talks about her 3 most hated things: carrots, peppers, and bugs.
And then Ash says, aside from you, what are the other disgusting things? Fucking roasted.
Burn.
Absolutely roasted.
Burn.
Burn.
What are your 3 most hated things?
Snakes. I don't know, that's hard. It used to be thunderstorms when I was little. I was petrified of thunderstorms.
I also had a thunderstorm phobia. Bad one. Would hide under tables. Let's say now 3 most hated things: bigotry, injustice, the cold void of existence itself.
That was low hanging fruit, I think.
What? Why?
It's like, what are your pet peeves? Oh, I hate it when people leave the door open. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I hate racism. That's not a pet peeve. That's just like that's not in the same realm as what we're talking here.
That's right. Carrots, peppers, slavery,
and racism.
I think Misty had a perfect opportunity to get a voice out there, to really speak for something important instead of a hatred of carrots and peppers. So Misty keeps following Ash still, regardless. She is clearly, just wanting to join in on this journey. Ash asks her...
Well, he wants her bike back.
That's a bit of an excuse, right? We see her trying to follow him anyways. This is another am I the asshole moment, though, is Ash is like, when are you going to get over that dumb bike? Dude, you ruined her bike.
You stole her property and destroyed it. I think she's, well in the right of wanting her bike back.
He's just like, when are you going to get over it?
That was like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
chill.
Yeah. So that was pretty hilarious. So
we're at nighttime.
Yeah. Oh, great scene.
And Misty is still... really hating on Caterpie. But Caterpie and Pikachu are looking up at the moon and dancing, and it's very adorable. And Caterpie is dreaming of one day becoming a Butterfree.
Foreshadowing.
And it's just a wholesome moment. He's just so sad.
It's very wholesome.
That Misty doesn't like him.
We've given... I do like how we're getting personalities of a couple of these Pokemon now, at least. Pikachu is full of personality, right? As sort of this, like, carefree but kind of sassy sort of a creature who wants to be independent but is loyal at the end of the day. And Caterpie has these dreams of freedom, right? Like it's actually an ambitious little worm.
I don't know if it's dreams of freedom. I think it's dreams of
not freedom from people, but freedom in sort of like a
he can fly.
Physical sense. He wants to fly.
He can fly. He can fly. He can fly.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
And when they wake up, they are afterwards. Ash and Misty are still fighting about the bugs. Ash in the sleeping bag looks like a Caterpie, right? He's like so. Ash is now scooting around in his sleeping bag. He looks like a caterpillar.
And Misty makes Caterpie like straight up depressed.
Aw.
Like, Caterpie wants to die now because of Misty. It's so sad.
Yeah, and these are the parts that, okay, Misty, you do need to be empathetic about this creature. I get that phobias are like a serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the dialogue shouldn't be Misty, stop being an asshole. It should be a bit more like, Misty, you're hurting this thing's feelings, and you have a problem that you need to work through.
Mm-hmm. And Ash, you need to be nice about it.
You need to be sympathetic, yeah.
Maybe everyone's shit here. Maybe there's not no assholes here. Maybe it's everyone's shit. It's both. It's both.
It's a flip of the coin, but it's both. A learning opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're trying to catch more Pokemon next.
We find a Pidgeotto. Wild Pidgeotto.
Yeah, and this is where we learn that Ash's pure luck before of just throwing the ball was pure luck. He is an idiot. He tries to catch the Pidgeotto without a battle. So they jump to a Pidgeotto. We've seen Pidgeys before in the show, right? But no Pidgeots. Is that correct?
Not yet.
Yeah.
And this first time we see Pidgeotto, it lands and then it eats a worm. Not a Pokemon. It's a worm. It's just a worm. We don't know that's a Pokemon.
Interesting.
It might be a Pokemon, but we don't know what species it is.
So there just looks like a worm. Non-Pokemon animals in Pokemon.
It would seem so.
And that's also a foreshadowing about the type matchups, which is Ash's idiot moment number 2. So he tries to catch a Pidgeotto without a ball. With just a ball, like without battling. But then to make up for it, he throws Caterpie out.
Like a dumbass.
Very stupid. So a type matchup in Pokemon, every Pokemon has an element association, right? Or a type. And there's strengths and weaknesses, resistances between these types. Flying Pokemon are strong against bugs. Is that correct?
Yes.
Were they always? That's a Gen 1 and on?
Yes, but the thing to note is that at this level, assuming that it is around the level you would catch it in Viridian Forest, Pidgeotto shouldn't have any flying type moves. It'll have Gust, but in Generation 1, Gust was a normal move, not flying.
Whew. Heard it here, folks. First, folks.
Yep.
I'm really jumping over my words today. That's what happens when you don't sleep and try to make up for it with caffeine. Life lessons at To Kill a Delibird. Hope that's why you're all here.
So Ash hasn't learned at all. Tries to throw the ball, fails. Throws out Caterpie, fails. But he does eventually throw Pikachu out. Pikachu weakens it. He catches the Pidgeotto. And then Pikachu also does the peace sign, which was very, very cute.
Very cute.
Pika! It's great.
And Ash and Misty have a bit of a heart-to-heart here where
she
Misty
berates him.
Calls him a fucking moron, says you need to learn about how Pokemon work, like how reality here is in order to, succeed. And he says, if you just try hard enough, things will work out, right?
No, things won't work out if you try hard enough, Misty says. Gives him an absolute reality check, which is real dark for a kid's show, I think.
Well, that piece of advice to me was kind of like those swindler YouTubers who are like, join my YouTube course. It's about pure effort and you'll be a successful YouTuber.
That's like when we're kids and we're told by our parents, if you work hard, you can achieve anything. Which is a fucking lie.
Exactly. It's that like everyone was going to be a rocket scientist and cure cancer or something.
My grade 8 social studies teacher, who was also the principal at the school, taught us, or was it grade 9? I think it was grade 9. Doesn't matter. He taught us big distinction. He taught us that you can't be an astronaut. It's just not realistic. That was a lesson that he made sure to instill in our heads.
I mean,
he was a strange guy.
Be an astronaut, but
oh yeah, but not us.
Really?
Yeah.
One of you might have been able to be an astronaut.
Yeah. So Team Rocket's back now, and now we're seeing them become a little incompetent. It seems that now they have a goal that they're going to laser focus on.
Yeah.
They're kind of stupid now.
Yeah. And I do want to dig into that goal a bit because it comes up here. They want Pikachu really badly. And they say that it's a special Pikachu, quote unquote. Meowth goes on this weird little tirade, alluding that Pikachu is maybe like high level for a Pikachu. Is that kind of what you got out of that?
Something along those lines. I think he said, like, powerful for its, like, level or something. So maybe it's just, like...
something like that.
Maybe it's, like, perfect IVs.
And what is that?
Okay.
Fill in the audience.
An IV...
Not me. I know what this is.
Yeah,
is
sure
for
you
the
do.
Audience.
Absolutely. Yeah. An IV is an individual value. Every Pokemon has 0 to 31 in each stat when they are quote-unquote born. 31 is the best you can have. 0 is the worst. It's basically just how good is that stat for that Pokemon. Now, in Generation 1 and 2, they were actually DVs. They were determinate values, and they were 0 to 15, I believe. But, same idea.
Okay, interesting. So basically, there are random chances of certain Pokemon, when you catch them, having better growth rates for their stats.
Yeah.
And so the in-game lore here might be that Pikachu has one of these IV
He has perfect DVs.
things.
Perfect
DVs.
DVs.
Wow.
EVs
okay.
are a whole other thing.
Oh, goodness. I don't understand any of this.
EVs didn't exist till Gen 3. EVs were in Gen 3. Stat experience is what Gen 1 and 2 were based on.
So they have a sense, though, that Pikachu's important.
Mm-hmm.
We won't get into this now. I guess I'm just curious. Are you aware of any answer to this? Do they ever give an in-universe reason in the show for, like, why Pikachu is special?
I don't know. Not that I know of. It's just a real good Pikachu.
So they have a sense that he's worth money, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
But Pikachus in general wouldn't be that... They're not that rare, right?
They are in game. They're like a 5% encounter rate in Viridian Forest, I think.
Yeah, but that's not so rare that they would be like, oh, this is like a Pokemon I really need to pursue all the time. Unless they're just dumb. Like, we saw, like, 8 Pikachus working at that Pokécenter.
Well, those ones weren't wild.
Yeah, I know, but, like, so there are Pikachus. But, I don't know about their monetary value. I would be interested in that. Economics of the Pokemon world. That's going to be our next spin-off podcast. Catch us where you download podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
No, that podcast doesn't exist.
Speaking of where you download podcasts, we're on Spotify now.
We're on Spotify now, and we will be getting on Apple soon. We'll have updates on that. But Spotify's our first place, so please check us out there. Set your podcasts to automatically download. Really helps the channel. I actually don't know why, but I just hear a lot of other podcasts say that, so it must.
And numbers do things. Number go up and makes brain happy. So
stonks.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in the battle with Team Rocket. This is a high-action episode. Man, Team Rocket loves puns. I was thinking that this is kind of like... The writers of this show really taught kids to associate puns with evil. Like, Team Rocket is like a pun machine. Mm-hmm. So Jesse goes, that really bugs me.
Classic Team Rocket.
Right. And so we've got a high-octane battle now.
But it's against League rules. Team Rocket's using 2 Pokemon.
Right.
What makes
Which eventually becomes League.
Mm-hmm. What makes me weird about... I don't know. That's a weird word to use, but I don't get it about this episode. Or not necessarily I don't get it. Words are hard. What makes Team Rocket make no sense is that they don't care. They don't seem to care about League rules of using 1 Pokemon, and they'll send out 2 Pokemon at a time. But later, when Ash tries to fight them hand-to-hand, Meowth goes, Pokemon battle rules say that only Pokemon can battle. Since when do you care about the rules? You just use 2 Pokemon.
Yeah, so is that just them choosing what is convenient for them?
Yeah, I think so.
Do they actually see some value in certain rules over the others?
I think they just want to...
It's just them being convenient.
Whatever's convenient for them.
Yeah.
They're shit. They're pieces of shit.
Well, and that's where I believe Jesse also says, all's fair in love, war, and Pokemon battles.
True. Big true.
Yeah, big heart there. Okay, so I want to get to the end of this battle. Do you have walk us through what happens in the battle?
Well, Ash sends out Pidgeotto, but Pidgeotto won't battle. Pidgeotto is tired, I think.
I mean, he just got caught, I guess.
So he sends out Caterpie, and we think about that as a terrible idea, especially in Gen 1, because Poison type was was good against bug type, but also the other way around too. But
really?
Caterpie doesn't have bug moves at this point, except for String Shot, which in the anime, String Shot is this like ultra powerful move that will completely incapacitate Pokemon, which is not how it works in the game.
Yeah, this was something I do remember about the games, and I have more comments about, I guess, the pattern of the idea here when we jump into the next episode as well, is that the show's interpretation of buffs and debuffs is very strange in contrast with the game mechanics.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because the String Shot is, like this awesome move. And you're watching that as a kid. You're like, oh, String Shot's pretty dope. Caterpie, not bad. I'm going to play the game now. I'm going to get a Caterpie. I'm going to get String Shot. Oh my god, this thing sucks.
Yeah.
What does it do? Just decreases their speed?
Yep, lowers their speed by 1 level.
Okay, and that is not even a great debuff.
It can be.
It's a specific, it's situational.
But
though,
not in
right?
not in the early game, I don't think. No.
Not in the early game.
Not like that. Not where you get Caterpie. You tend to get rid of String Shot pretty quick.
Yeah.
But not before Caterpie evolves. And that's what Caterpie does. He evolves into a Metapod less than 20 minutes after being caught, which that is actually quite realistic when compared to the games. Because Caterpie evolves like real fast.
Really quickly, right?
Real fast. Level 7.
So overall, a good episode, I think. It is pretty contained, right? We're just in the forest, but the battles are fun. The dialogue is fun. I like seeing the conflict that Ash and Misty has, and hopefully how that's going to grow. Any other thoughts with the episode?
Well, the title of the episode is Ash Catches a Pokemon, which is a bold-faced lie because he catches 2 Pokemon.
That's not a lie. That's just only part of the truth.
They should have called it Ash Catches 2 Pokemon.
He did catch a Pokemon. He also caught another Pokemon.
I don't know.
It's not a bold-faced lie.
I think it's shady.
Shady. It's misleading.
Shady. Yeah.
Own up to it,
It's
Pokemon producers. Fake news. We're taking you down.
News.
Spider-Man is a menace. Okay. Let's get to the scoring then. So just to let our audience reminder on how this works, we have a bunch of categories that are we placed on ping pong balls, and these are just sort of arbitrary scoring categories. Last time we drew 1 category per episode. We discussed this. We're going to try 2 this time and see how this goes. And we would really like more ideas for categories. So listeners, you know what to do. Get in that comment section. Shout us out with some more ideas about categories. And that would be great to hear.
And if you do that, bless your heart.
Bless your soul.
Bless your heart. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out the plastic ping pong pitcher of objective ratings, and give it a
love the name.
Get that ASMR going.
The PPOR.
And our first category for Ash Catches a Pokemon is the plot. That's an actual category.
Just scoring the plot.
We're scoring the plot of the episode.
It's not a plot-heavy episode,
no.
Actually. No. It's a little bit slice of life, and it's a little bit boils down to this one relationship issue between Ash and Misty.
But in terms of important events that happened, we got quite a bit. Ash catches 2 Pokemon, and he evolves one of them as well.
That's true.
So I think those kind of balance each other out. I'm going to go with 6.
Okay, I was going to say 5, the perfect balance. So I'm okay with a 6. Yeah,
all right,
I can lean
6 out of 10 for the plot. And we're going to average that with the second category, which will be the animation.
Ooh, also a 5.
I'll go with that, yeah.
And it's good. We're
still
good.
early in the anime.
There's some really cute moments with Caterpie, especially. I love how Caterpie looks. Caterpie's eyes are beautiful. Last episode of To Kill a Delibird, we discussed the term Sakuga as when they put a little bit more money into a sequence. And despite this being an action-heavy episode, I there wasn't a moment where I felt that.
Yeah, I think the closest that it comes to is the catching the Caterpie, because it does that cheesy, like, we're gonna cut to 3 angles and replay the catching 3 times, which I mean
Right, which
isn't like the Sakuga whatever you say it is, but it's funny. I find it funny.
yeah, and it's good. There's style to it. There's some good stylistic choices, and yeah, all the stuff around Caterpie is really cute. But it's hard to give an episode a higher rating for that without that Sakuga moment, which it just doesn't have. So
Tisk
yeah,
Pokemon. All right, well then average those two out. Ash Catches a Pokemon is a 5.5 out of 10.
And what is the unit? 5.5 out of 10 Caterpie string shots.
Yeah, sure. Go
Perfect.
with that.
Yeah.
And that's
high
episode 3.
these days.
Oh yeah.
All
So
right.
moving on to episode 4, Challenge of the Samurai.
Another fun one, kind of a goofy one. We kick it off, and Ash says, "Do you remember this pun?" He has a terrible pun at the start of the episode. He
doesn't
says,
even make sense.
Cow. He says something about having a cow terpy, and he's in a cow costume.
Yeah, it's stupid and unnecessary, but I'm here for it. It makes a lot more sense in the original Japanese. So I'm reading it on Bulbapedia that in the Japanese version, he instead makes an untranslatable pun. Misty says mushi mushi mushi, which means bug bug bug, and then Ash says ushi, meaning cow. So,
oh, awesome. I'm glad you looked into that. I had a hunch that this episode would have some interesting translation stuff to it.
Mm-hmm.
Being about a samurai. Like that's not that big brain of me.
Yeah. So that's how the episode starts, and then we see a Weedle for the very first time.
Get the point? Something like that. I think the Pokedex says.
Yeah, something about their whoever's on the receiving end will always get the point where they need it. Something like that.
So Ash wants to catch another Pokemon.
He wants to be the best.
Pikachu's taking a nap.
Yep, that's where that meme comes from.
Power move.
Classic.
I love
meme.
Pikachu in this episode. He is
so
sassy. Good. He's doing his own thing. He's like, Ash, you're fine. I'm just gonna have fun.
So Misty stomps off annoyed, and then almost gets slashed in half by a guy with a katana.
Yeah.
For some reason. Why?
Yeah, there is a samurai in Viridian Forest.
Just wielding a sword.
Not only a dude, is this a 10-year-old?
Probably.
This is like a child, right?
Yeah.
Dressed up as a samurai.
He has his own cabin. He's 10
I was
years
going
old.
to get to that. Not only is there a
estate.
kid who is dressed up like a samurai, he seems to live in the forest and attack travelers.
Yeah, I think this guy's got some issues, I think.
Does he have issues, or is he just realized a way to live that the rest of society is totally out to lunch?
Oh yeah, this dude's living in 2040 and we're all stuck in 2023.
Yeah, the future. Samurai forest. That'll be like an Etsy not Etsy, what's the Pinterest? That'll be like a Pinterest fad, like samurai forest cabins.
So he seems to be searching for Ash. He asks Misty if she's the trainer from Palette he's looking for. So he goes finding Ash, and it looks like he's gonna kill Ash.
Yeah, and he calls her a shrieking maiden. Mm-hmm. He has
very neckbeard of him.
Very, very milady.
Milady.
And he has sort of a bit of an awkward way of talking that I think is supposed to sound old-timey.
Probably.
Does Bulbapedia have anything about that in terms of localization notes?
Not that I was seeing.
Okay, so that's probably just an assumption we could make. I think that his vocabulary is supposed to be sounding sort of medieval, which in Japanese that would be probably like a feudal Japanese sort of talk, but it's hard to say without some explicit notes. Neither of us know Japanese, nor will probably ever know Japanese. Or another language. Do you even speak French?
God, no.
I don't.
I took I had the 7 years of required French in elementary through high school, and I remember none of it.
Right, so this is Canada. Most people have required French. Do you know that for some reason, my school didn't do that?
That's weird.
I had these really hardcore Christian fundamentalist classes where they
fun.
told us to never have sex and, reasons that people go to hell and those sort of fun topics, but I never learned a word of French.
It's more important to know that if you have sex, you will get pregnant and die.
We had an entire class, I remember this vividly, where people were asking the teacher, if what was a sin or not. Like, would this make me go to hell? Okay, what about this? Like, what about tattoos?
You know
all
what?
These different things.
You know what that reminds me of?
Huh.
It reminds me of that episode of Community where they're showing off like all the classes, all the random classes they teach. And it's the one episode of like, can you fry that? Or that one class of can you fry that? Where it's just the teacher answering questions from people like, can I fry ice cream? Yes. Can I fry keys? Yes. Can I fry fries? Get out. It's always one person.
So I had that actual experience, but not can I fry that. It's more like, will I fry in the internal fires of hell if I do that? Yeah, and one of the things was that giving people... I remember this vividly. I know this is a tangent, but story time. One of the things we asked him was, is giving people alcohol a sin? He said that's a sin because it leads to their drunkenness. Oh. And I said, okay, 5 brain. Chess move. Let's go. Mate in 3. Jesus turned the water into wine. Classic story. Turns the water into wine, saves a wedding. He goes, I shit you not. The teacher goes, well, that's a loophole because they were already drunk.
Classic Christianity in schools.
The silence there was huge. That was an actual thing he told me. That is burnt into my brain. Absolutely skewered into my brain. What a strange experience. So, that was all to say, neither of us are bilingual. Neither of us know Japanese.
Weird way to get back to there, but...
Well, that was exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And so we don't really know the localization stuff for the samurai, but he's got this old-timey kind of speak. And it actually, they only kind of carry it out in the first few times we meet him, and he sort of drops it.
Yeah.
So...
Well, once his life is in danger, he kind of drops the character.
All right, so what's coming next?
Well, he wants to battle. He doesn't want to kill Ash. He wants to have a Pokemon battle. And he sends out a pincer. Fucker's got a pincer.
And that pincer looks sweet.
You can't get that till Safari Zone. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And we see a vision Ash has of Pinsir straight up murdering Metapod. Snapping it in half.
That was haunting. Mm-hmm.
And so Samurai tells Pinsir to use Tackle. Pinsir does not and never has learned Tackle in the games.
Rife with inaccuracies.
Ever. Never. And so
that wasn't a huge sin though, in the sense that
no, it's a massive sin.
Is such a generic move.
No, it's a sin. He could have used something else. He could have used Vice Grip.
Localizers. Come on.
He could have used Vice Grip.
So he does use a move next though, where he's got it in his.
That's probably Vice Grip. Right? That's probably Vice Grip.
And how does Ash respond?
Well, he makes Metapod. He tells Metapod to use Harden. And that breaks Pinsir's horns somehow.
Right, and this is like the string shot debuff. This is a buff being shown to be really cool, actually.
Yep.
Like that the Harden can just break the Pinsers like that. This is some OP nonsense for how they look at buffs. Because especially early game, from what I remember, buffs and debuffs were not very useful.
Also, as kids, we just never used them in the first place.
Yeah. It's like, you weren't really thinking about the tactics.
If it doesn't do damage, RPG. I don't want it.
Yeah.
That's why my Charizard had Ember, Flamethrower, Fire Spin, and Fire Blast.
Yeah, and for those of you listening thinking that we're clowns, you did that too.
When you were 7, too.
Come on.
Don't lie.
Don't lie.
Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah, get out of here with your fedora.
So after Pinsir gets recalled, we get the iconic Metapod v Metapod battle. Where
this is incredible.
Nothing happens.
This might be my favorite moment so far in the Pokemon show. We're on episode 4. Not a lot, but this I loved this part.
The hard off.
Please never say that again. That's a phrase that's going to jail. So yeah, these two metapods are standing there. They're just using hard. Neither can attack each other. We see that their shadows are moving like sundials to show the passage of time. And then it goes over to Misty and Pikachu like lounging in beach chairs, like they're at like a resort. They've got sunglasses on. They've got these big fruity drinks. Amazing.
Pikachu in a beach chair is pretty damn cute.
With the sunglasses?
Yeah,
so cool.
It's great. Yeah. Pikachu moments like that are just, well, chef's kiss.
Yeah, and we got two in this episode. We got Pikachu taking the nap, and we got Pikachu just lounging. Classic.
So then we cut to Team Rocket. We're seeing Team Rocket for the first time this episode. They're running around in a paper tank. And that's all we see of them for now. Because we're back to the fight.
Well, they say the paper tank is there to protect from bee drills. Okay. And I think that's our first mention of bee drills in this episode.
Yes.
Jessie's puns, again, she goes... she's berating Meowth for sitting on top of the tank. He goes, well, I'm being the lookout. And she goes, well, look out for this. And kind of pushes Meowth. Oh, God. See, puns are evil. Puns, not even once. Don't do them, kids.
Should, don't bring that up again around my dad. He would die a little bit.
Your dad would be a member of Team Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
So Kellen's dad loves puns, and by association would be a member of Team Rocket.
That's how that works, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe he's Giovanni.
Oh, twist.
Dun dun dun.
What a twist. So we go back to the fight. They're still trying to see who can get harder. And then the bee drill.
Stop saying things like that.
And then the bee drill swarm comes in. The Weedle that Ash failed to catch has gone and communicated to its brethren that there are people trying to catch them and defeat them. And so this big swarm of Beedrill come in. And honestly, let's be real, Beedrill sucks as a Pokemon, but if that thing existed in real life, that would be terrifying as shit.
It's pretty scary, yeah.
Like those giant stingers, what the piss is that?
And a horde of them, a whole bunch of them. They're running away. We see the Kakunas pretty soon here too, right?
Yeah. The Beedrill kidnaps Metapod. And Ash can't get him back into the ball. And then he goes into this whole existential thing later of I'm a terrible trainer, which, that's what we've been saying for the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, this was a good growth kind
Self-awareness, baby.
Yeah. But why I wanted to bring that up is we've now seen the 3 Beedrill evolutions.
All in one episode.
We've only seen 2 of the Caterpie evolutions, right?
Well, we'll see the other one at the end of the episode.
Right, but what I wanted to call out is this was along with the part where, in the last episode, where Caterpie's looking to the sky, mad foreshadowing. Because you're right away going, hey, this other Pokemon's got the 3 evolutions, Caterpie's got it too.
Mm-hmm.
Are you Team Beedrill or Team Butterfree?
Butterfree, by a mile.
Yeah, me too.
Butterfree's way better.
Actually, when I played Gen 1, I usually got a Butterfree.
No, Mega Beedrill, that's where it's at.
What the heck is that?
Mega Beedrill? Oh my god.
Sounds like a kaiju. Sounds like Mothra.
You'll get to that. We'll see Megas in the Gen 6 anime. When we get there.
Okay, that's a long time away.
In like 4 years.
Mega Beedrill is threatening the city. Oh. Where's Godzilla?
But seriously, Mega Beedrill is actually like really, really cool and really good. So Mega Beedrill over Butterfree, but Butterfree over regular Beedrill.
Design though? Which design do you prefer?
Between Butterfree and Beedrill?
Yeah.
Butterfree.
Yeah, I this is a bias too, but I tend to just pick like I guess hero characters over villains. And not that they are heroes or villains, but in the context of the show and, the violence that we're shown coming from Beedrill, that's sort of what they're pushing, is that Butterfree's like the light choice and Beedrill's the dark choice.
Good and evil.
I also seem to remember Butterfree having some psychic moves. Is that correct?
It learns confusion.
That's pretty
early.
Cool.
Yeah, it makes Butterfree really good against Brock.
Cute Pokemon, powerful, yeah.
It's basically Butterfree. if you chose Charmander in Red and Blue, grab a Butterfree with confusion, bing bam boom, Brock is a piece of cake.
You heard it here, folks. That's a Nuzlocke pro tip.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we see the samurai's house next, right?
Well, they're running away from the Beedrill. The Beedrill kidnap Metapod, doing better than Team Rocket ever will, and they end up in a hive of Kakuna. But that's where the Metapod is now.
Ah.
We're in this big Kakuna hive. And then they all evolve, and we have a second Beedrill swarm to deal with. Then we make it to the cabin. So the samurai kid has real estate.
The samurai's got real estate. This 10-year-old who dresses up and attacks travelers. Weird dude. I guess he's fine. I don't know. And they have this whole existential thing in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is where
they get the samurai talks about how he's fought everybody that's come from Pallet so far. And Ash is by far the absolute worst trainer of them all.
Yeah, so it's kind of alluded that he's not alluded. It's like directly stated that he's fought Gary.
Mm-hmm.
He's fought the other two, the people that chose the other two Pokemon. Do we ever see those trainers?
If we do, I don't know about it.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I had no idea that. That made it seem like though that could be like some cool characters to pop up later, but I guess they never capitalized on that.
Yeah. So in the morning, they stay at the cabin for the night. In the morning, Ash goes back to get his Metapod, but Meowth comes in and just fucking maims him across the face.
Yeah, and he's got a terrible pun. He's like, "What's my favorite game? Scratch and Sniffle." Something like that. Scratch is
stupid.
This is the puns. Again, puns are evil.
So Team Rocket
shall take over the world.
Jesse and James start going through their whole spiel. They're prepared for trouble stuff. And this is the first time I think we see the characters don't take them seriously at all. Ash like straight up just interrupts them. He's like, don't do this right now. This is not the time for this.
I got bigger problems.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out a lot of shit, both personally and regarding my Pokemon, and with this new source of conflict from the samurai. You're old news, and you're a joke. You keep making puns. So just get out of here.
But they're dumb. Team Rocket's dumb. And they just keep getting louder and louder, and it wakes up the Beedrill, and we got another Beedrill swarm to deal with.
That's 3, folks.
It's 3. Ash is able to dodge them, though. He ducks underneath them, and the Beedrill go after Jesse and James. But their tank has been eaten by Weedles.
Because they made it out of paper to cut costs.
And they go blasting off again. They don't say it, but that's what they do.
So stupid.
Yep.
And this is where we now get Ash's sort of learning moment, right? Because he's trying to save the Metapod.
Yeah, he grabs his Metapod. Metapod won't go back in the ball for some reason. So Ash grabs him and runs. He trips, he falls, throws Metapod. Metapod rolls a little bit. And then Ash finally realizes that, yes, he is shit.
Yeah, he's right away about to go back to his default of blaming others. He says this is all a samurai's fault. And he quickly realizes that, no, this is about accountability of my own actions. I can step up to the plate here.
Yeah. And so Metapod, now that Ash has become self-aware, Metapod is touched. And Metapod uses Tackle, which he's had this whole time and could have used in the samurai fight against the other Metapod, but nope.
Do Metapods ever get Tackle in games?
Well, if they evolve from Caterpie, yeah, which this one did.
Oh, but the organic or the wild Metapods don't.
If you catch a wild Metapod, it'll just have Harden, but if you evolve it from a Caterpie, it'll still have Tackle and String Shot.
Gotcha. So he uses Tackle.
Yep, he uses Tackle and then evolves again. Second time in 2 episodes.
We see the Butterfree.
And we get Ash's iconic Butterfree.
Yeah, so cool looking.
Interestingly enough, Dexter says, when scanning the Butterfree, 1 week after Caterpie evolves into Metapod, it evolves into Butterfree. But as far as we're aware, it's only been like less than 24 hours. We haven't been told about a time jump.
Maybe a day.
We haven't been told about a time jump, but as far as we're aware, this is the next day.
Rife with inaccuracies.
Unless this is their way of saying, oh, it's been a week. But in which case,
what
how have they been in that forest for a week?
Is this show pushing?
How have they been in this forest for a week? That seems ridiculous.
Oh, propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
This is all a joke.
Absolutely.
We don't mind this. Okay. So the Butterfree comes out. Ash is like, use sleep powder. So is he knows the moves like right away. Is that because of the
Apparently.
Pokedex?
Maybe.
I guess.
He didn't say anything, but...
Yeah, that's why I thought it was weird that Ash is so stupid about most things, but he knows the Pokemon moves instantly. He knows moves without them being discussed. I guess it might be that in his Pokemon fanaticism as a young child, those were the things that he focused on. Since he is such like a brute force, bullheaded sort of problem solver, he maybe just liked moves.
Maybe. So yeah, Butterfree uses Sleep Powder to take out every single Beedrill at once. So, Sleep Powder, very OP in the anime.
So powerful.
So powerful. And then they're off to Pewter, and that's pretty much the episode.
Yeah, and the samurai is like, wow, you were incredible. You commanded that Butterfree instantly. I believe the only thing Ash does is says, Butterfree, use sleep powder.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, Butterfree couldn't have figured that out? I don't know. That was dumb as heck.
Well, I mean, the trainers have to command their Pokemon to dodge attacks, so maybe it is pretty stupid.
Swerve left!
Go, duck, go!
Duck, dive, dodge.
Dip, duck, dive. No, dodge. Dip, duck, dive, dodge.
If you can dodge a Pikachu, you can dodge a...
Dip, duck, dive. Dip.
Stay tuned for our spin-off podcasts, Words That Start with D, airing every Wednesday on Spotify.
Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. I think that's it. I don't remember.
Okay.
Whatever.
End of the episode. Fun episode. Very silly. Kind of self-contained, but we get the Butterfree, so it's all good.
Yeah. Important moments in the episode. Ash's Metapod evolves into a Butterfree.
And he takes some accountability. But that was good. Yeah.
Are you ready to rate?
You know what? So I want to say one other thing is that these the show does take sort of this episodic approach where there's a lot of repetition. Like Team Rocket is the big thing, right?
Yeah.
And this is like an old TV thing where before streaming, when producers couldn't assume that their viewers would see every single episode. I've heard that actually they went by the rule that even your biggest fans will only catch 1 out of 3 episodes, at least as it's airing. So they wanted to put in very familiar, very formulaic sort of shtick so that people could, have some association and connection with the show, even if they hadn't seen every episode. As a kid, though, I was even aware, and what drew me to some of these kind of anime series is over some of the Western cartoons, was that they did that, but they also had overarching stories.
Yeah.
Like, we do see character growth. It's kind of not that deep, but it is there.
Yeah, and the entire point of the show is that Ash is on a journey, and we're going to see this whole journey through, so.
Right, and the journey's got progression.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, Are we going to rate?
Scoring.
All right. Ping pong pitcher. The plastic ping pong picture of objective ratings is back out.
The PPPOR.
And our first category for Challenge of the Samurai is furry bait.
Oh.
I don't know if there was any.
One. So furries. Do we need to explain furry? We don't.
I don't think so.
You either will get this or not. No, I think this is low.
This is very low on the furry bait.
This is a tough one for us to rate. I don't really know that much about this community, and I'm good.
Yeah, me too. I don't need to know much.
I don't think there was any furry bait.
I think it's a 0 out of 10 on the furry bait scale.
Yeah, I mean, really, all we would be able to do is with furry bait is like I think that category will have a lot of legs with later Pokemon, with those like evolutions that get very anthropomorphic.
Yep. All right. Well, 0 out of 10 for the first category.
Yep.
Our second category will be Team Rocket schemes.
Okay. This is an interesting one in the sense that the scheme is kind of fun. The tank thing is so dumb that it's a little bit funny. It's not a good scheme.
No.
And it has no, even their sense of purpose and goal in this one is barely there. 2.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Because they weren't even really
sucks.
They weren't even really like scheming or anything. They just kind of found Pikachu and they're like, oh yeah, we should try to get this guy.
According to the PPPOR, which is the leading peer-reviewed system for objectively ranking Pokemon anime episodes, this was a pretty bad episode.
Mm-hmm.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10 for Challenge of the Samurai.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a fun fact for you, though, about this episode. It was banned in South Korea for featuring a samurai.
Really?
Yeah. According to
Wow.
Wikipedia.
Okay, that is interesting. I didn't know that they banned stuff with samurais. I know that there is a long history of tension between South Korea and Japan, for a lot of reasons, a lot of military and those kind of reasons. So I guess that makes sense that they were just like, that's too overtly Japanese, and back to a time when bad things happened that we don't want to remind people about. Okay, didn't know that. Wow, that's weird, but interesting.
So that does it for these 2 episodes, I think. Unless you have anything else.
Nope. It was a fun episode. I liked getting a chance to talk about it. So yeah, folks, episodes go up. We're aiming for every Monday. They'll be early at the start of weeks if we don't hit the Monday marks. You can currently find episodes on YouTube and Spotify, and we are aiming at other platforms, and we'll update the community as that happens. Shout us out in the comments. We love to hear your feedback. We're looking for more ideas to go into the PPPOR as well, so more categories. And Kellen, where can people find you?
Actually, it's 4 P's.
Oh, PPPPOR. That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. So next week we're taking on Showdown in Pewter City and Clefairy and the Moonstone. This will be the next 2 episodes.
Hype.
So if you're listening along and you want to watch along,
get hyped.
So we'll be watching next week. Otherwise, you can find me in the usual places. YouTube, Skittlewickers. I'm going to change that soon. We have some ideas in mind.
You say that every week.
I say that every week, and we're going to say
I'm
it
really
every week
excited to
months,
meet
probably.
Brock next episode.
Yeah, we're going to meet Brock. That's exciting. Yeah. Very exciting. So those 2 episodes next week, and then after that, we're going to have to do a little discussing if we want to do 3, because I definitely want to do 10, 11, and 12 in the same episode.
Okay, I think that's fair.
We will see when we get closer. We'll see when we get closer. Otherwise, Graham, what are you up to?
Just loving this bullshit.
Hell yeah.
Just loving this bullshit. Put that on my tombstone.
He loved this bullshit.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for listening, and catch you next episode.
And if you made it this far, God bless your souls.
Bless your hearts and souls.